Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tracetainment. Thanks so much for tuning in with me. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss on the videos that I post. In today's video, President-elect Donald Trump just got some fantastic news. They didn't expect him to be elected, but with him being elected, some changes are to come. Check this video out.
All right, Judge Juan Marchand now in New York saying he could be putting off that sentencing of Donald J. Trump of the hush money trial indefinitely, but not totally. Tom Dupree, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, what he makes of this. So this is still hanging over the president-elect and likely could, maybe will, throughout his presidency and restart after his term ends. What do you make of that?
Well, Neil, it's hanging over him right now, but we got some signals today from the judge that do suggest that it might not be hanging over him for much longer. The judge kicked the sentencing can further down the road. He did what's called adjourn the sentencing, which is lawyers speak basically for postponing it. But he also did something pretty interesting. He invited the defense lawyers to file briefs explaining why the charges should be dismissed entirely. And if I'm a defense lawyer, it's a pretty good sign when the judge is inviting me to file briefs and explain to him why this entire case should be dismissed. So we may have a resolution before Trump takes office in January.
I gotta say this, President-elect Donald Trump made the biggest comeback I think I have ever seen. Like, you guys gotta think about it. He had so many things thrown at him during his campaigning. Like he had the assassination attempts, he had these court cases, he had to pay these major fines, and he never gave up. He never gave up. He kept pushing through everything because he knew what the people wanted. He listened to the people. He addressed things that people were worried about, told them what he would do to fix it, and then look what happened. He was elected to be our next president. And it was not by just a little margin, it was by a big margin. He won by a landslide. It's because he listened to the people and he understood what the people's concerns were. People were tired of inflation. People are tired of struggling to pay their bills. People want to get ahead in life. They want to put more money back in their pockets. They want a better future for themselves and their families.
Bottom line is all these cases go away, or so it seems, right? Pretty much.
I think that's right. The Jack Smith cases, the two federal prosecutions are definitely going to go away. We know before January 20th or at January 20th at noon at the very latest. The Georgia case has been in a state of suspended animation for a long time now.
Yeah.
That's not going anywhere anytime soon. And as we saw from today's order, I suspect there's a good chance the New York case, the fourth in that group, will also be going away before too long.
Tom, I just wonder if the election had gone the other way. And what Donald Trump would be facing in that event. What do you think?
He would be facing a completely different world, Neil. For one thing, he obviously wouldn't have the power to fire Jack Smith. And so those two cases, or at least the January 6th case in Washington, D.C., would be moving full steam ahead. The Georgia case, maybe that's going to come back to life, maybe not. But the New York case, that would still be going. And I think Trump would be facing some sort of sentencing proceeding if he hadn't won the election. But this election changed everything.
It did, and that is an understatement. Tom, thank you very much. Tom Dupree on that.
So I bet they didn't expect President-elect Donald Trump to be elected to be our next president. This election was very important because it was either going to go one way or the other. President-elect Donald Trump would have been sentenced, or President-elect Donald Trump was elected to be our next president, and he was elected to be our next president because the people wanted change. They did not want to continue with everything that's been going on, and they seen everything that kept happening to him. They said he was this, he was that. They had him in and out of these courtrooms, and people seen what was going on, but they also wanted change. They didn't want to continue with everything that was going on. They seen how things were happening. They see how things were played out. And President-elect Donald Trump listened to the people about their concerns. People were very concerned about how can I get a better future? How can I have an easier life? Then he answered the people, told them what he would do to fix it. And he was elected to be our next president. Something that they did not expect. The biggest comeback ever. Let me know what you guys think about today's video in the comment section. That'll be a wrap for today's video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.